Green 18. Green 19.
Fournette, the running back. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Brady to throw. Throws a deep pass downfield. And Scotty Miller in the open. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Rodgers fires quickly. End zone is caught for the touchdown by Allen Lazard. First and goal for the 5. Brady. Evans. Did he catch it? Yes, sir. Touchdown. Rodgers spins to his left. Comes underneath, and the pass is incomplete, out of bounds. Now they say complete. 3rd and 1. Rodgers play action. Look to the end zone. Rainbow Jordy Nelson. He's got it. Touchdown.
Mahomes looking under pressure. Throws the ball upfield. It is knocked away at the 50-yard line. Intercepted. Picked off a deflection.
All right, but enough about our.
Well, anyway.
Enough about our bullshit with our past lives.
Enough about us being losers.
What's up, guys? I am back, and we are back with Battle for the Bay, episode 5 of season 2. With me, as always, Draz.
Howdy.
All right, so nothing's changing as far as content is concerned for this week, but you'll be happy to know that this will be our last mock draft before the actual NFL draft next Thursday. So,
barring anything crazy, we'll be live streaming.
Yeah,
the draft.
Yeah, I literally got no life, so why wouldn't I?
I could get called into work.
If you get called into work, that just means I'm streaming by myself. And probably trying to rope in somebody else to do it with me.
Yeah. But barring me getting called into work.
And that's like the only thing that can go wrong.
I could die.
You die getting ran over by your own Segway.
Don't forget I shit myself, because everybody shit themselves when they die.
Do they?
Yeah.
Like,
make sure you shit right before you die. If you think you're about to die, make sure you shit.
Like, that's an actual thing about the human body.
Let me send you those.
No, I'm good. I'll take your word for it. Anyways.
This is going to be great on my search history.
Yeah, you're not going to be recommended some horrible coroner's reports. Anyways.
Short answer is yes.
Oh, God. Anyways. We got our mock draft up here. We got the first 2 rounds. And we are ready to go. So. Draz, do you want to start us off with pick number 1?
Are we doing free-for-all or standard trading?
What do you mean free-for-all? Like trades?
It's select what type of trading you want. Free-for-all or standard? I guess I'll just do standard.
You're going to trade off the bat. Joy's going to be pissed.
No, I just was... We're setting it up.
I don't even see the trade option. Where is it? Here it is.
At the top. All right.
But
we're starting off. Pick number 1, Tennessee. I'm not doing anything crazy.
They draft Alex Mastromano, punter from Florida State.
They draft Brett Thorson from Georgia, punter from Georgia, because you know the Georgia craze.
They draft Dominic Zavada, kicker from Michigan.
No, I have a couple different things I'm gonna do with this draft. The Tennessee is gonna choose Cameron Ward. I still think that's pretty certain. At
this point, I'm also gonna agree with you. Like for the past 3 weeks, I've not done that, but it's kind of the obvious is obvious now. They're not gonna trade it, and Cameron Ward is the best passer in the draft.
Yeah.
All right, and that has Cleveland. Okay, so do we want to go Travis Hunter again? But nah, we gotta put our heads together. We gotta think.
I'm gonna say that they take Abdul Carter because we've been looking and it's like, okay, well, there's a lot of different things to this.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Travis Hunter is like he has, I guess, a higher ceiling potentially, but I think Abdul Carter's better day one.
Well, yeah.
And
Plus, you would like
having Abdul Carter there with Miles Garrett would be like,
about to say, you would like to have a second banana with Miles Garrett. So yeah, I agree with that. Abdul Carter, he's a Brown to his
Which-
great misfortune.
we just brought this up. Travis Hunter the Giants talking about Travis Hunter. So I'm gonna just say they want Travis Hunter, and so they're gonna get Travis Hunter, and he's gonna bust. That's what I'm gonna guess too. Is the New York Giants are gonna use Travis Hunter, draft Travis Hunter, and he's gonna suck. He's not gonna be good at either thing.
He had mediocre seasons in
He's
college.
gonna
What do
become
you
a
think
kick
that's
returner. He's gonna be a punt returner, career punt and kick returner.
Hey, Devin Hester made the Hall of Fame doing that.
I guess. Which
Hold
leads
on,
me
freeze.
into pick
I
5.
did. Hold
But
on.
you're or pick 4.
I didn't say a thing yet.
Who are you?
We did say the Giants did say that they would let Travis Hunter play both sides of the ball. That is fact. That is recorded fact right now. At the same time, though, you got to think, would they want other options? They could bustle up their D-line and grab Mason Graham. They can fill their need at quarterback for the future with Shedeur Sanders, even though I really don't see that happening. Hell, they could take Ashton Genty and try to have Saquon Barkley come back. Or have a clone of him, basically. Or they could take Tyler Warren, give Russell Wilson a decent tight end to work with.
I think they're taking Travis Hunter. It's the Giants, dude. It's the Giants.
Yeah, I know it's the Giants. Yeah, it's Travis Hunter, and I'm trying to look at like all options, but the obvious one will win out each and every time. All right, Patriots.
Which leads us to New England.
Will Campbell.
Also,
Will Campbell.
Yeah, I will not. Also, kind of easy.
I will not change my mind about this.
4 and 5 are very easy. Mason Graham. If Mason Graham's on the board,
yeah,
Jacksonville, you better take Mason Graham.
Yeah, sorry that we're kind of firing through these, Joy, but we're skipping ahead of ourselves in the brain.
But it's because we know these are really
these are like
those first few ones are super.
Yeah, these are like
obvious. This is what should happen.
Obvious, the most obvious picks.
At least from needs, that is. You might get some shockers.
Okay, then we got Vegas. I've said this for the past couple of drafts. They get Ashton Genty here. I see no alternative. There's no way they pass up a desperate need they have. They have no running backs. It has to be Ashton or nothing. And I don't see Chicago being able to trade up that high, especially when Vegas has that big a need. Chicago, they have a running back already. It's just that how aggressive or how much would Chicago want to give up to try and get a running back? I don't think they want to be giving up 2 first-round picks just to move up 5 spots.
Well, I don't think they will.
So I got Ashton Genty going here. I'm just saying that before you start suggesting trades. I see Genty goes to Las Vegas. I will actually put money on that. I'll put $10 down on FanDuel or something like that for Genty going to Las Vegas.
All right. I will agree that the likelihood is that he's going to go one of 2 places. Chicago or Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, for the meme, I'm going to keep it going.
God damn it.
To go from pick 10 to pick 6, they gave up a second-round pick this year because the Chicago has pick 39 and 41 in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And so I figured that they could give up pick 39 and pick 10 and get pretty close. And so I just used a couple extra picks from 2026, right? And Chicago drafts Ashton Genty. So when it comes down to pick 30 and 41, I will be assuming Las Vegas has it.
Mm-hmm. Imagine if Las Vegas trades up to get Ashton. Like they're that
Dude,
paranoid about the Giants doing it that they trade up.
Happen, I actually have some ideas. I have some ideas, which is gonna be actually it's gonna be kind of wild. And if it fucking actually happens in real life, I will fucking on live stream. I will levitate off my fucking chair.
You do realize I will
fly out
you
of
do
the
realize
building.
I will force you to actually do the webcam on that, right? If you're actually going to levitate.
I will turn my camera on if Ashton Genty goes to Chicago. I will turn my camera off and float away.
All right, but yeah, to sum it up, you got Chicago trading up to get Genty with the Raiders, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that leads us to pick number 7, and obvious is obvious. This is where I would have Membu going. The funnest name in this draft. Armand Membu. Membu. I just want to get a Membu jersey. I want to get a Membu jersey. It's a fun name.
I actually am going to be consistent from last draft. I'm going to take Tyler Warren again.
Really?
For Carolina.
Okay, Carolina.
Carolina, yeah.
I don't see it.
New York Jets are going to take Membu.
I'm sorry. I cannot give them tight end. They need another wide receiver. As much as I like T.T. McMillan and I would like to see him go elsewhere, this is his perfect spot. He goes nowhere else, and Chicago would be stupid to pass up on him.
Carolina, you mean?
Yes, we've been on Chicago for the last 5 minutes. It's now ingrained in my brain. Anyways.
All right. New Orleans.
Oh, God. Okay, so here's the thing. News broke that Derek Carr now has a shoulder injury. And Spencer Rattler sucks balls. So Shedeur Sanders is sitting right there. Does he go or doesn't he?
No.
No?
I think I saw some stuff saying that Sanders might be falling down down the draft board. I think he does.
All right, how you thinking?
I think he falls. I think that New Orleans is going to either take Jalen Walker or McMillan, or you have a tight end there instead of McMillan.
Yeah, I still got Ty Warren,
but
yeah.
Jalen Walker, they need desperate help on that defense because they have bloated, overloaded contracts. They need some good rookies on defense, so I'm going to have them take Walker.
All right, I understand that. But the obvious choice is there. As much as I hate it and as much as I hope it flops, Shedeur Sanders will be going to New Orleans. And it's just
Las Vegas is here for me.
I'll say it's just a Mickey Loomis thing to do. The only thing that make it better is if he was from Ohio State, and then Mickey would really cream.
Well, Las Vegas, for me, this could be Chicago for you. Las Vegas is going to take McMillan. I think I also had that happen last time.
And I'm going to have
pick for pick.
And I'm actually going to do my own trade here. I got Chicago trading with Atlanta.
All right.
And with Atlanta trading up, they get Jalen Walker.
That would make sense. If I was an Atlanta fan, I would like that trade.
Because you can't deny that Atlanta has no pass rush.
Oh yeah, they desperately need something.
Like I have a better chance of walking out of the door tomorrow and having $100 bills shower down from above than Atlanta getting a sack last year.
I'm not even going to explain my reasoning. San Fran takes Will Johnson.
Yeah, no, they have nothing on that secondary anymore.
Do I even need to justify
it? You do not need to justify it. You just...
Okay.
You're not going to have McMillan go here, are you?
No. He's already gone. Remember, I had McMillan go with Las Vegas.
Okay, but you're currently giggling right now, so...
Dallas.
What do you got for Dallas?
Drafts Shedeur Sanders.
Oh my God.
That is my one meme pick. Like,
you know what's stupid?
and the thing is
you
it
know
doesn't
that's
even
stupid?
seem crazy.
I'll say, you know what's stupid? That actually seems like something that Jerry Jones would do.
Dude,
That's
if
the stupid
Shedeur
part.
Sanders goes to Dallas, I will levitate out of the room again.
Like,
You will see someone fly for the first time twice in the same night.
Like, that's the stupid thing. This is such a Jerry Jones thing to do, but he's already off my board because I went with the logical selection.
Oh my god!
But for Dallas,
you have to admit that's a great pick. Even if it's like completely illogical, it's a great pick.
It's so on brand for Jerry Jones. It's not even funny.
The only reasoning is it's Jerry Jones, Shedeur Sanders.
Okay, well, on my board,
imagine the phone call. It's like Shedeur Sanders gets a little ring, like gling, pick up.
Hey, boy.
Hey, Shedeur Sanders.
Hey, boy, this is Jerry Jones from the Dallas Cowboys.
Jerry Jones.
You're going to be a Cowboys. I got dementia.
And Shedeur Sanders
Welcome
is
to
like,
the 90s.
Fuck.
And then Dion behind him saying,
welcome to never winning a playoff game.
And then Dion behind him going like, son.
Dion, like, I think we need to start talking about that abortion.
Jesus. Why did I pick up my Xbox controller? Anyways, I got Dallas. They need an edge, so I'm going to have them take Mikel Williams.
That's
and
fair.
that leaves Miami. They finally, in this draft, get to a point where they have a decent offensive tackle to take. They got Kelvin Banks here on my board.
Yep.
They're taking him.
Easy from Texas.
And then also easy for me, Indy, Tyler Warren, match made in heaven.
I'm going to have them take Mikel Williams.
Okay. Then we got Chicago.
And I have Atlanta. Atlanta's going to take Shamar Stewart.
Well, I have Chicago reaching, and they're going to take Marion Hampton. Okay. They trade back, they get the running back they need, and they get an extra third round. They get an extra second round pick on top of it.
3 second round draft picks.
Well, 2.
Okay, I can see that.
They'll have 2 second round picks, but
Well, you said they got an extra second, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I meant by a second. They traded their first, and then got another second round pick on top of it. On top of what they already have. All right, Arizona. Well, they need linebacker in a desperate way, but they also need edge in a desperate way.
They need corner really bad too, and Jahdae Barron's here for me still.
Yeah, no, I'll go with that.
That's where I would have it.
Well, speaking of teams that need defense, Shamar Stewart, you're a Bengal.
I'm gonna have them take Mike Green.
Okay. As far as Seattle's concerned, what do they need?
They're gonna take Josh Simmons from Ohio State.
No. If they need anything to get fixed, it is their defense. They need a safety. I'm going to have them take Malachi Starks. That leaves Tampa.
That leaves my second trade of the day.
But I'll say, Todd Bowles did say that we'd be willing to trade. Not Todd Bowles. Our GM Jason Light. He said he'd be willing to trade back. So that's what I got us doing.
He said he basically said that in words that they were going to wait, and if the player that they want comes to them, then they won't trade it, but they're willing to trade. I am going to assume that they don't like anybody that's on the board, and we are going to let's see. The Chargers are going to trade up.
I don't think it'll be the Chargers.
And they're going to take Colson Loveland.
Okay. I don't think they're going to take...
They're going to secure their guy.
They're not
for a third-round draft pick.
They're not going to be... It's not going to be the Chargers that are going to do this. The last time I had this Houston, I'm going to have it stay that way. So I got Houston. They need offensive line. Josh Simmons goes here. Now we got the Broncos. This is where I think the most explosive
I'm going to have
player
Matthew Golden.
Will go.
Matthew Golden's going off the board. 20.
Matthew Golden. Oh, yeah, that guy. Well, here, I got Jahad Campbell going here. It just seems way too obvious of a pick. All right, Pittsburgh. We've still not gotten any word about Aaron Rodgers going here. What is taking Aaron so fucking long?
I don't know.
Is he consulting with the ayahuasca gods?
I'm going to have them take Kenneth Grant from Michigan. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Buff up defense as always.
Yeah, that's...
Which you'd be happy the Tampa Bay trades down and still gets Jahad Campbell.
Well, I got LA, and they're still going to get Colston Loveland. Because I don't see any other team really needing a tight end besides maybe the Broncos. But that leaves, for you, Green Bay. Or us, Green Bay. So, honor tradition? Or do you see something else happening?
We are going to trade out of the first round.
You're going to draft Austin Brickman, lawn snapper out of West Virginia. But you're going to trade out of the first round. Okay, let's hear it.
Just because I got to find something that works here.
Mm-hmm.
Where it, for whatever reason, it won't let me do this, even though it would make perfect sense. Green Bay is trading out of the first with Las Vegas for the second that they have, and the second I had them trade to the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Or from the Bears, and they're going to take Omarion Hampton.
Ooh, that's not a bad choice.
Green Bay loves their second-round draft picks, too. They love second-round draft picks. And so getting 2 for 1 would be fucking big for Green Bay. And since we're doing the second round, I would happily give extra seconds to Green Bay.
All right, well, hear me out. Actually, no, I believe you, but I'm not going to do that trade.
That would be.
But I will.
Again,
I will still honor one time honored tradition. Past 20 years, they've only taken 4 offensive players. This is going to be a defensive pick, no matter what. Well, at least in the first round, they've only taken 4 offensive players. I got them taking Mike Green.
If he falls, then I could see him taking Mike Green.
But
Mike Green was already off the board.
And that leaves the Vikings. They got a serious need at safety, especially with old man Harrison in the secondary. As much as I like the guy,
Malachi Start's still on the board for me.
Yeah, Nick Amawari is on the board for me, so that's obvious. And that leaves Tampa.
I'm going to take Zabel, Gray Zabel. He's risen up the draft.
Oh, for Minnesota?
Your offensive line.
For Minnesota?
No, I said Malachi Starks for Minnesota. Safety. I'm talking Houston.
Oh, Houston. I like
Interior offensive lineman. They desperately need something in the middle.
All right, well, let me think.
And me and you both have talked about the next pick.
Well, hold on. I still got to go with Tampa.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you traded for Tampa.
Well, I got to think here because the best edge just got nicked. The 2 best safeties are out the door. What on the board will we even try and get? Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, they're still here. McMillan has proven that he can be a good slot wide receiver. But we always have this glaring hole in the secondary that we always have, and we can never fill to save our lives. So, I'd like to propose another trade. Tampa Bay will trade out of the first.
Twice? Okay.
Tampa Bay will trade out of the first completely.
Me and you doing the same thing, just with a different.
Yeah.
With our different players.
Different philosophies.
Or different teams.
But
yeah.
They're trading out of the first round and they're going to trade with Cleveland. They're going to get their second-round pick,
Okay.
and also Cleveland's fourth-round pick. And with this pick, Cleveland will choose Jackson Dart out of Mississippi.
Okay. Well, the Rams are taking Jackson Dart for me.
Yeah, I know. It was like,
26.
well, that's the obvious pick for the Rams, and I actually do see Jackson Dart going there. Just that, I had a big brain moment, and I decided not to do that, so I probably fucked up everything. But they still got a massive Aaron. How am I slipping on his name? Guy with roid rage, even though he somehow never got busted for hemorrhoids, for steroids.
I don't know. Myles Garrett.
No. Aaron Donald, there we go. They still got that hole to fill, so I think they'll double down on their defensive line. They'll take Derek Harmon out of Oregon. Which leaves Baltimore. Anybody
I'm going
see
to
a
have them
pass
take
rusher?
Nick Emenwari. He has fallen on my draft board.
I gotcha.
So I'm going to have them take him. Just take best available.
Yeah, best available on my board is Matthew Golden. But they still have a hole. They still have a hole in their offensive line to fill, and this is where I think Gray Zabel will go. All right, and that leaves Detroit. Why is wide receiver listed as a need for him? They have Amon-Ra, they have Jamison Williams. What else do they need? They got Sam Laporta. They don't need another wide receiver. Even though, well, I know Sam Laporta is a tight end, but still, that's 3 very good receiving options. But we all know they're going to go defense here, and I got Walter Nolan from Mississippi on my board, and they'll take him.
They're going to take Harmon for me.
Okay. And that leaves Washington.
In Washington, yeah.
Okay. If you have a need on anything on this team, it is going to be in that secondary. The only question is, who's worth taking this late in the first round? Actually, I know exactly who. My old friend in East Carolina, Siobhan Revell Jr., is going to Washington.
I'm going to have them take James Pierce Jr.
Okay.
Edge. Best available edge.
All right. Buffalo. They're going to do what they should have done last year. They're going to take a Texas wide receiver in the first round and not trade it with Kansas City. I got Matthew Golden going here.
I'm going to have Walter Nolan. Go. We're just best available right now.
I hear you. And Black Magic Incarnate, pick number 31. They need offensive line, and also offensive line. Tyler Booker's here. Send it. And Philly, their needs are obvious. They need anything on the defensive line they can get. So I got them taking James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee.
I have them trading this pick.
All right, let's hear it.
Philly is going to trade with Tennessee.
All right, so they trade up 3 spots.
32nd pick. So they trade up 3 spots for a 4th round draft pick that just an extra 4th. Tennessee goes up and they go get Emeka Egbuka.
Why did they? Oh, Tennessee. I see it.
Tennessee.
You're sending
they get a wide receiver with their rookie quarterback because it's worked out in the past.
But I'll say it's going to be what happened with Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, except this time it's actually going to work.
I don't know if Cam Ward and Egbuka will work, but you get the spirit of it, and plus Philly does not need a 32nd pick when there's no crazy good player.
Well, then, you would guarantee. Even then, the logic behind even staying in the first round is that you'd like to have your guy with a 5th-year option if he turns out to be good.
Yeah.
But on my board, I got the Bucks. After they traded with the Browns to move up, they did get an extra 3rd-round pick out of this, so that's why we only have 2 picks at the 2nd. But with our first pick, We still need desperate edge rush help. I got Donovan Eziraku right here for the taking.
I have Cleveland taking Luther Burden from Missouri. Because they do need a wide receiver. They actually, I mean, they have a good wide receiver one now. I mean, nobody expected it either.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, but pick number 2, you got the Giants. I don't think that also changed for you.
I am going to have them take we're gonna have them take Josh Connerly Jr.
Yeah, that's the best offensive tackle on the board, and they need offensive tackle, especially since Evan Neal's a fucking pile of
bust
potatoes.
Of all busts.
A pile of potatoes knocked on his back every other play. All right, but I got the Titans here. You said earlier you're going to have the Tennessee Titans trade to begin Amika Buka. They still get him in my end in the second round.
Okay.
All right, Jags.
I actually have Philly taking Eziraku or Donovan Eziraku.
Yeah, the other edge rusher.
They trade down and still get a guy that's pretty decent.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jacksonville. This is where I have Luther Burden going. Actually, scratch that. Maxwell Harrison, they need corners, and this guy is the best on the board.
I have Maxwell Harrison coming off the board from Kentucky.
Perfect. All right, corner. So, not corner, Raiders. So they can go corner here if they want because they got rid of Jack Jones, who I thought was a decent cornerback. Despite the woes that the Raiders have had, I still think he was relatively decent. So they need to refuel their secondary. At the same time, they also need more weapons for Geno. So I got them taking Luther Burden out of Missouri.
Okay, so I actually have Green Bay here.
Mm-hmm.
And crazily enough,
same thing.
Crazily enough, I don't think they need Siobhan Ravel.
Oh wow, you can't do East Carolina dirty like that. But you do you. I'm just saying.
All right, call me crazy, but I actually think I'm gonna have Green Bay trade this one.
A fucking again.
Let's see, who's next?
What am I saying? I had Tampa Bay trade down twice in the first round. What am I saying? I got no room to talk. What are you thinking?
All right, so Miami. I have a good idea. Miami.
You're trading with Miami.
Trades from pick 48 to 37 for an extra third round pick because Green Bay likes their third round picks too. And because of this, Green Bay also has pick 39, by the way, because of all of these things. So they have 2 picks from now. They have another one. Mm-hmm. But they're trading with Miami, and Miami gets Siobhan Ravel.
Ooh, I like it.
You see what I'm doing? I'm cooking.
I know. I like it.
And Donovan Jackson, unfortunately, is on the board without much thought at New England in the next.
Yeah, no, I got Donovan Jackson goes here. They're building that offensive line like there's no tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if their first 4 picks were on the offensive line. But Chicago's here for me. What about you?
Green Bay's here for me.
All right, so Chicago got their running back eventually. They need edge. Nick Scorton, welcome to your new home for better or for worse.
Green Bay is going to get running back and go and get Henderson.
Ew.
Not a crazy pick, but it is kind of like, why would they do that? Green Bay loves 1-2 punches at running back, and they draft in the second and the third round.
Say that part I do know.
That one's probably my least likely to go out of everything here. I think Green Bay would be taking a chance going for Henderson, but they also have extra second-round draft picks, so there's that.
Okay. Well, I got the Saints on here. I think this is actually where Travion Henderson is going to go. You can't go through one draft without the Saints taking one Ohio State player. Especially with Al Kamara getting older and older.
I am actually going to be very different and have Jalen Milroe go off the board.
Jalen Milroe is terrible. Well, it's on brand for the Saints, but he's terrible.
I was going to say, you hear me disagreeing with you that he's bad, but he's projected to go off the board here. And if any team's going to take him and reach, it would be New Orleans.
They're so desperate. They'd be so desperate at that point to get anything resembling decent quarterback play. But
all right, and Nick Scorton's finally going to go off the board.
Well, I got Chicago. Well, I got Chicago here. It's
Same.
their third. It's their third pick for me. This is where I would have them take Tyquille Williams to fill out their defensive line. God, so much Ohio State scum in this draft. I hate it.
For the Jets, I'm actually going to have Mason Taylor go off the board because they haven't had a good tight end in a while.
I'll agree with that, actually. That seems like a perfect fit.
I think it's actually a pretty good fit, yeah. And you just had Tyquille Williams go off the board. He's about to go off the board here.
All right. For me,
for San Fran.
They still need tackle, and I got this guy named Ryan Ursare.
Jesus Christ. I
love these names.
Ariante. Trying to say that shit, man.
Ariante Ursari. Okay. He's going here. They need tackle help, especially with the fact that their entire team just had a cleanse, and they got to work through it. Okay. So, Dallas. CB, Trey Amos is the best on the board. Oh, boy.
They don't need a corner, but I actually agree. I'm going to have them take Trey Amos. I have fucked their entire draft. I need to look at a draft recap just to show you my first 2 rounds with them.
Okay.
Right. Indy.
They got Jaden Daniels. Not Jaden Daniels. They got Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, and old man Flacco went back to the Browns. However, if there's any QB they're going to take a shot at that's not Jalen Milroe, it's going to be Tyler Show out of Louisville.
I'm going to take Carson Schweisinger, UCLA.
Oh, the linebacker.
UCLA.
Okay.
Atlanta. Well,
I already had them trade up to top 10 and draft their draft an edge, so they don't need an edge right now.
They're going to take a corner for me. Take best available, Thomas from Florida State.
Okay. Well, they still need linebacker for me. Carson Schwensinger is here, even though I don't know why they have linebackers in need. Caden Ellis is not that bad. And that leaves Arizona. They still need... Would they need a second banana for Marvin Harrison? Or do they double down on their defense?
I'm going to have them take the offensive lineman that you had earlier, Ursary.
Okay.
Because they desperately need offensive line.
Well,
which this pick has been trending for me for the last ever since I traded out of the first round for Green Bay.
Well, can I do my pick, please?
Yes.
Okay, Cardinals. They need an edge. It's between Landon Jackson and JT Tuimoloau. Man, it's such a good name, but he's from Ohio State. I don't like that. But I think they will take him since he's from a Big Ten school, and the other edge is
from. They did sign an edge though.
Well, they still need They still need an edge.
They still do. They have nothing.
The other guy,
defense, so.
But I think they're going to pick the guy who just won a national championship over the guy who's above him. But we got the Miami. Isn't that Green Bay for you?
I was going to say I have Green Bay. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I would actually say that I think that both teams would choose the same player here.
Mm-hmm.
even with the Dolphins, and I'm going to say that Green Bay takes Jaden Higgins
Huh. That tracks, but
from
I would
Iowa
not.
State.
That tracks, but I don't think Miami would do that. If anything, I got them taking a cornerback because their secondary is still pretty leaky. Azrae Thomas is the highest corner here, so I got him going. Speaking of teams that need secondary help, the Bengals. I got Benjamin Morrison going here.
I'd have Xavier Watts, safety.
Okay. Okay, Seattle. This is where I have Jaden Higgins going. If there's any team that can make use of him, it'll be this team.
I'm going to have Landon Jackson go off the board.
Fair enough.
Actually, I'm gonna do what you did and say that they take Ohio State simply because
they just
won a championship.
Yeah. Okay, Denver. Running back is the biggest need right now, and there's Quinshawn Judkins out of Ohio State. Oh, God, how many of these fucks are infesting the draft board this year?
I'm out of protest. I'm gonna have them take Kalen Johnson from Iowa and say they just like Iowa better.
Yay!
It's a better state.
It's definitely better than Ohio. Every state's better than Ohio. Well, except maybe California, but... All right, Seattle again. So, they have a safety. They have a wide receiver. They just need some pass rush help. Landon Jackson, this is where he goes for me. All right.
I would have them take Benjamin Morrison. Kind of use a luxury pick. They don't really need a corner, but having an extra one wouldn't really hurt.
I gotcha. All right. Tampa. All right. I'm going to have them trade down once again.
I'm going to have them take Landon Jackson while you're doing that.
Okay. Okay. Here's what I got. They're going to trade with Kansas City for a 4th-round pick and a 5th-round pick. Because apparently they will not let me do anything else.
Interesting.
All right, Kansas City trades up, and they will get... The thing freaked out on me again. Darius Alexander, defensive lineman from Toledo.
Okay.
And that gives me Green Bay. Let's see, there's
Also gives me Green Bay.
I don't see anything wide receiver related except for Trey Harris here. But that is a little bit too much of a reach, in my opinion. So, let's talk about your safety situation. How is it?
Good. McKinney and I can't remember the other person, but he's young. Buford.
All right. As far as your tight ends are concerned, you're decent. I'm
gonna have them take Darius Alexander. It's kind of obvious because we have a couple of older players in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Just Green Bay's not going to go the first 2 rounds without drafting.
I'll also give you guys a defensive lineman, except it's going to be Alfred Collins out of Texas, which leaves us with the Chargers. Wide receiver. Is there any wide receivers worth taking? Nope. So that means they should address something in their secondary. Or their pass rush, especially after they got rid of Joey Bosa.
They also got rid of running back, didn't they?
Yeah, they don't have any running backs either. But I think they signed
I'm going to have them take Judkins.
Yeah. If Judkins is there, they will take him. But the only other running back I have here is Caleb Johnson, but that's it. But I think here they'll go for pass rush to fill the hole that Joey Bosa left. They'll take Princely Umamelian. Whatever, I don't even know. What is that name?
That was my second choice.
All right.
So I
Buffalo,
agree.
again. They're going to go safety
I'm actually
here. They're going to take Xavier
reach.
Watts.
I'm going to have them reach and get Trey Harris.
Trey Harris?
Yeah, wide receiver.
Oh. Okay. Carolina. Jalen Milroe's still on my board, so insurance policy for their other shitty Alabama QB? No. They need a tight end, so I'll have Elijah Arroyo going here. Seems to make
I
sense.
can have them take Arroyo as well, even though I'd had them take Tyler Warren. Double tight end, baby.
Hey, ask Aaron Hernandez and Gronk how the 2 tight end formation went. It was killer.
I literally was going to say that was a killer duo.
All right,
At least one of them was.
Texans again. All right, they're going to double down on the offensive line. I got them taking Savineo. What?
Oh, by the way, I said I don't know if I said it. Collins from defensive line from Texas is going to Carolina.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. All I heard was tight end. But Houston, they're going to double down on their offensive line. They're going to take this lineman from Arizona with the last name of Savinea. Savania. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I actually like that pick, and I'm going to follow you on that pick. And just have them both take 2 offensive linemen in the first 2 rounds. Just fucking shotgun shell, fucking take the shotgun approach to.
And watch CJ Stroud still look terrible. That will be a dream come true for me. All right, Baltimore. They need edge help. Jack Sawyer's the last decent edge on here, so I got him going.
I'm going to have them take Princely because I haven't had Princely. Not even going to try to say his last name from Mississippi. He's still on the board for me.
All right, Detroit.
And then Jack Sawyer's going off the board literally in the next pick.
You do not want to take... No.
Detroit's taking Jack Sawyer.
You do not want to pair up an Ohio State product with a Michigan product on the same line. That never works out. The energy they emit cancels each other out, and they never do a thing. But Detroit, dang. I don't even know who they would choose here. All right, I got another trade then. Detroit's going to trade with the Eagles. And they're... What? Jalen Milroe is a suggestion for Philly. That's stupid. But they're going to move up, and they're going to take TJ Saunders to fill their the defensive line even more. And that just leaves Washington again. This is where I got Trey Harris going.
Okay. I'm having them take Elijah Arroyo to go behind buff that receiving core.
Mm-hmm. All right, Buffalo again. This is where I got not Jalen Nolan. They already got Matthew Golden. They're set right now. But I think they will take Caleb Johnson out of Iowa as a 1-2 punch with James Cook.
Okay.
And that leaves Tampa.
I'm going to take Braden Swinson, edge from LSU, to the Buffalo Bills.
All right. And this is probably going to be my biggest reach of the draft. I got Tampa Bay in a shocking move, taking Danny Stutzman, linebacker from Oklahoma.
Pick 107?
If you look at the tape, he was supposed to be a top 10 pick last year in the draft. Now, because Oklahoma went to the SEC and they did not have the prettiest year thanks to their offense, he's now somehow terrible. And he's worth like a 4th-round pick at most to these people. That is simply not true. And I think Tampa Bay would be getting a steal to getting him in the 2nd round. And they need linebacker help in the worst way possible. The silence is deafening.
I just don't really know what to say because I don't know the backstory about that. So
I know you don't know the backstory about that. I do. Even then, people are going to watch this and go, this dude's a fucking idiot.
Well, in that vein, I'm going to have my Kansas City pick be controversial. Mm-hmm. And have Fannin Jr., tight end from Bowling Green, go off the board there.
What? Oh, Harold Fannin Jr. Oh my God.
Okay, so there's actually a reason for this.
I know.
Do you
Travis
know
Kelce's
what-
not getting younger, and Noah Gray, even though he's been great in a limited role, you can't really expect him to
Yes,
take over.
but you want to know? He just took a pay cut to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But this year alone, if they had cut Travis Kelce, they would have saved $18 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm. And they probably would have been able to re-sign some of
Sign
the guys
somebody
who
else.
left.
Yeah, and they chose to keep him. I think one more bad year, you get someone like Fannin Jr. Obviously, I don't think this is actually going to be the pick. But if they get a tight end in there that starts fucking making, I've thought about it for a while. Isaiah Likely might get traded to somebody like that, or
I can see it.
maybe Likely stays, but
Likely stays.
who's the guy above him that dropped a fucking pass in the playoffs?
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews gets traded because I think Likely is better than Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews is definitely going to be a trade chip. He's going to get traded in the draft. He's going to get traded. There's no way he doesn't.
Ooh, Washington trade for Mark Andrews would be fucking wild.
Honestly, I'd be down for that. That'd be
so
awesome.
unique. That would be super unique.
And he wouldn't even need to go. He wouldn't even have to leave his house in Baltimore.
He wouldn't.
And that just leaves Detroit. They still need edge on my board, so I got them taking Braden Swinson out of LSU.
Fuck it. I'm gonna have them send it. I'm gonna have them take Cameron Scattaboo.
Okay, to be fair, I like Scattaboo. To be completely fair to you.
All right. Can we? I'm looking real quick.
Mm-hmm.
A+, A. They just give you high ratings for everything. A+.
They gave me a B for the Danny Stutzman pick.
They gave me a B+ for Shadur Sanders to the fucking Cowboys.
And they gave me, for Shadur Sanders, let me go to New Orleans. They gave me an A+ for Shadur going to New Orleans and a B+ for Travion Henderson.
So far, my lowest pick is the tight end to KC with a B.
My worst pick is Siobhan Ravel going to Washington.
What, is that a B or is that
it's
like
a C+.
C+? Wow.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Malachi Starks is an A+ to the fucking Vikings? Okay.
Hold on, I'm checking on my bases here before we officially...
I got so many A+. Someone should really hire me.
We could be analysts.
Dude, my Jets draft class in the first 2 rounds is awesome. Membu and Mason Taylor. That is a fucking disgusting draft class. Cameron Ward, Amika Mbuka. I kind of cooked with these draft classes.
Oh, also Tyler Show going to Indy got a C from me. Because these guys really love whoever the fuck it was, Jalen Milroe, for like no reason at all. I don't get it. I legitimately, I do not get it. I don't get why people like him. Like, as a player, I don't understand why people like him. I don't see it. They made Oklahoma look like they made Oklahoma's defense look very, very, very good when we played them. We held them to 3 points. And yet, they're saying that he's a second-round pick? I don't think so. But yeah, most of my picks ended up being A's or B's across the board with the exception of the 2 C's. So, hey.
I didn't get a single C.
Yeah,
ironically.
I got a C because I had Siobhan Ravel going to Siobhan Ravel and Tyler Show going to Indy and Washington, respectively.
Okay, I'll give myself an F for Shadur Sanders to the Cowboys because we all know that would be a fucking disaster. But
that's not a fucking disaster. That's something that's going to be done.
From an accuracy standpoint, that fucking hits. Like, STS, you better be like recording, streaming, fucking posting on OnlyFans if fucking Shadur Sanders goes to the Cowboys. Because my reaction, I will fucking, like I said, I will fucking levitate. I will levitate. STS, imagine the I've been saying it literally all off season. Chicago trades up and gets Ashton Genty.
You know
And
how
then all
sad
the
that'll
picks
make
start
me?
rolling down. This picks start rolling down. And so my Genty pick was right, and it keeps going closer and closer to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys go on the clock. And then Shadur Sanders gets drafted. I would
I wouldn't
fucking
even
fly,
like.
dude.
I'd
That would
be
be the
laughing.
craziest
Like,
shit.
I'd be laughing at the fact that you were actually right. Because again, it is so on brand for Jerry Jones. He definitely would do something like that just to do it.
I think it's gonna happen. Like they'll probably sit with they'll probably, if he's there, they'll draft him and they'll sit him for a year and then look to trade off of Dak Prescott's contract with someone like the Saints or somebody, just somebody that wants to contend with a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, "Oh, switching quarterbacks will fix us," instead of, trying to actually win in free agency or something. They'll be like, "It's the quarterback that was the problem."
That's it. That's all we got. This is all we're doing today. Just a 2-round mock draft for our little send-off before the draft starts. We will not do an episode next week because, of course, we're going to be live streaming the draft and really doing an episode before the draft and not really do much. So, yeah. If you guys got through this, congrats to you. But if you guys enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe down below, click the bell to get notifications when we upload. Next episode will be out in a couple of weeks after the draft, so yeah, be looking forward to that. We will see you guys next time. See ya.